My name is Kate from the Cayuga Nature Center, and today we are going to be talking about fungus. Fungus is a kingdom. When I say kingdom, there's plants and animals and bacteria, and then there's fungus. Fungus are especially cool because they're not exactly an animal, but they're not exactly a plant. So they actually eat organic material. So when a tree falls in the forest, fungus will help break that tree down and make dirt. It's pretty cool. First one that I want to show you is called a polypore. A polypore is a hard fungus that you can find all months of the year. These guys have a very cool pattern on the inside of it. This is where the spores actually come out. So spores are kind of like seeds. When the fungus is ready to reproduce or multiply itself, it'll release tiny spores into the air, and it'll spread and find a wonderful spot to land. And once it lands, then the life cycle begins. The life cycle of a mushroom is quite interesting. First, when the spore falls onto a surface that it can grow on, it'll start making these, it's called mycelial threads. And mycelium is actually what the fungus is. What we see is actually the fruiting body. That's how they reproduce. This is parchment fungus. It's called so because it kind of feels like paper, and it's very tiny. So there are mushrooms that are very big and mushrooms that are very, very tiny. Mushrooms, again, help to make dirt. So if we didn't have fungus, we would be up to our ears in dead plants and dead trees and animals and all of the garbage that the earth makes. Fungus is pretty awesome. When we talk about the fungus life cycle, the most important part, I think, is the spores. The spores are the seeds to a mushroom or to the fungus. Here, I had taken a mushroom and laid it on a piece of paper. All of the spores fell out of the mushroom, and what we're left with is what's called a spore print. So this is a type of fungus. They're called puffball mushrooms. And when they're ready to sporate or to spread their seeds, this is what they look like. They're quite fun, and the spores are not harmful by any means. Some mushrooms are very important to the evolution of humans. This one right here is a conch. A conch you can split in half, and this is how our ancestors used to carry embers from a fire. If you put an ember on the inside, you can hold and carry those embers for a long time. Another thing that mushrooms are really good for is eating. Now, you should never eat a mushroom from the wild unless you talk to an expert. But there are mushrooms that you can buy from the grocery store. This one is called a baby bella. It's a baby because it's little. Mushrooms are really important for a healthy ecosystem. The woods wouldn't be the woods without this fungus. Another reason that mushrooms and fungus are really important is because they give us medicine. So when you go to the doctors and you have an ear infection, the medicine that the doctor normally prescribes is something like a penicillin. Penicillin is another type of mold or fungus that grows on citric fruits. So that's a really big and important job for fungus for humans. Fungus is actually one of the closest kingdoms to us as animals. You and I have fungus in us, and we depend on fungus. Mushrooms are awesome.